Okay, on to the Tigers versus the Broncos, and the Tigers have gone through some quite a few changes, to be honest. You got Russell Packer coming back, Chris Lawrence going to centre, Luke Brooks going to the bench. God, you got Walters coming in at the halves, Benji Marshall back in the starting 7 role. I mean, the Broncos have gone through a few changes too. I mean, we've seen this morning the news coming out that Tessie New is probably carrying an injury. Herbie Farnworth is doubtful. Xavier Coates might be doubtful. Even, I think it was Offengawa was carrying a knock too from training. So, I mean, at this point, the Broncos are so out of luck. I mean, they got a win last week, but I can't see them, even against this heavily changed Tigers side, coming up points here because there's just so many changes.
We learned last week, and again, I said it. I tipped the Dogs, but said, look, I will not be surprised if the Broncos get up here. And sure enough, 26-8, very convincing winners. Yeah, but we've both gone the Tigers on this. Walters in at 6 is interesting. I don't see Brooks staying on the bench. But if he does, I would not be surprised to see at about the 65, 66-minute mark, either Walters comes straight off for Brooks or at around the 50 to 55, like we saw last week, Harry Grant comes off for a 10-minute spell, Walters jumps into the 9, and Brooks goes into the halves. It's an interesting one. I'm not sure that I totally agree with it, especially when you have Oliver Clark, who probably had his best game of the season last week, sitting there in the reserves with Michael Cheekham. Paul Reese-Hoffman debuts, scores a try, then gets dropped for Talau coming back. That's a tough go for him. Yeah, look, Brooks 9 missed tackles last week, 4 or 5 tries down that side for the Tigers of Mbai and Hoffman. But like you said, you just can't have any confidence tipping the Broncos at this point, even coming off the win. They win the forward pack battle. I don't have any doubt about that, but I question whether they're able to back up last week against the Tigers side that should be there or thereabouts come finals time. Azarko, 2 tries, saving his spot. But like you said, at worst case scenario, if all 4 of those go down that you mentioned, New, Farnworth, Coates, and Offengawi.
I think it was, yeah.
Who comes in? Dearden is a half that every now and then will play hook, but they've got Isaac Luke and Corey Pay. Reese Kennedy, okay, that's an easy swap for Offengawi. Richie Kenner, if Coates goes down or if Farnworth goes down, you beauty. But Tyson Gamble, again, that's another half.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth in the reserves at the moment. So they better hope that all 4 are able to get up, or at least 3 of the 4. If Tessie New goes down, do you go Izarko back to fullback and Kenner on the wing? Do you go Oates to the wing, Reese Kennedy onto the bench, and Hopewadi starts? They do have options. Don't get me wrong. They have options if 1 or even 2 go down. But if all 4 struggle to get up for Friday night, then they're in trouble.
So the report that I read said that basically those first 3 that I named, New, Farnworth, and Coates, all failed to complete training today. New left training early due to a cork. Farnworth had to leave training completely, and Richie Kennar went out to right centre, I think, playing at the 3 where Farnworth had been. And Coates saw out training but didn't look comfortable, kept on pulling up. So if those 3 in your back line either see the game out and struggle or don't play at all, the Broncos don't compete this one. I mean, the thing that the Broncos won last week because of Pangai Jr. If Pangai Jr. doesn't play the way that he did last week, that's a tighter game. Yeah, you're probably looking at a Broncos win, but it's probably 14 points to 8. And when you beat a Dogs team that's got literally zero depth right now. Just mutually parted ways with their coach to go after Trent Barrett this morning. I mean, and you only beat them like 14-8. It's as good as saying we finish 14th if we're lucky this year. So they're relying on their forwards, basically. If the backs are carrying those knocks, the Broncos play up the middle all day. And like you said, they win that forward pack. They win that forward pack battle because Pangai Jr. plays like he does last week. The Tigers are in trouble. Payne Haas, always good for the carries. You got Teo coming in to start on the left edge, which he's going to be probably expected to play more minutes than he's supposed to, and that's going to be a struggle. He's not the young man that he once was. He's not used to those big minutes anymore. Corey Oates is going to have to take more runs in the second row. Like you said, he had his best game last week in the second row when getting a try. But I think he only went for 6-7 carries, something like that. 551. You're playing second row.
Yeah,
you need to be putting your hand up for more work, especially when you know that you've got some bigger bodies around you who are going to be really sucking it in around the middle. So if the Tigers, go on.
Sorry, mate, but yeah, he comes up. I think, if I've done my calculations right, comes up against Luciano Leilua, and that's a mouth-watering clash right there. Leilua has come in a rich vein of form in the last couple of games, so Oates, is going to have to be really good defensively there to ease out Leilua. The way this bench reads for me, Carrigan's got to play 80 though, because Teo won't see more than 50. If that, I think Hopewadi's going to have to come on, play the middle 40, and then let Teo try and bustle his way around to the last 15. Offahengawi probably will play. Oh, look, you'd have to say that he's going to give Pangai Jr. a break, even though they do have Flegler on the bench. But look, it's a tough one. I'm not confident with this Broncos side. There's potential. Like I said, I have no confidence to back them. I'm going Nofo, potentially up against some sore Broncos backs. I'm going Nofaluma to score any time, Tigers to win at $2.50 on a same game multi. He's due a try. That's basically my theory behind it. Nofo's due a try. Marshall's there. I wouldn't be surprised if he sets him up. It's just coming. For me, it's coming. If you want to get adventurous, I think the Broncos make this a little bit more competitive than we're putting it out. Tigers 1-12 is $3. But I'm happy just with Nofo West Tigers at $2.50. That's good enough for me. So
I'm the slightly more adventurous one on this one. So I'm working under the same premises of you, and coming up against a few sore bodies. So I've gone the other side. I'm going Talau, anytime try scorer, and I'm going to say Tigers on a -3.5 handicap. So that covers you for the unconverted try. I think that it's similar to the 1-12, but I think it just probably pays out a little better, and it covers you in the event of the Tigers going for a blowout. So I think that one probably pays out a little better with a few less risks. So unless the Broncos can somehow make this a 2-point or a 1-point game, I'm going to go, Talau anytime, and a -3.5 handicap for the Tigers there. Just because again, if the Broncos do have a game like last week, they will make it competitive. But I just think it probably pays out a little better.
I can tell you in precisely 1 minute. No, we can't do that. Yeah, pick your own line. Tigers 3.5 is 169. Once you throw in a cheeky Tommy Talau try, I do like that play. 287 is what that will pay out. So yeah, just a little more there. I think that one's in with a good shout.
Sweet as, right then.